and introduce you all to Mr. Curtis Lee Harbin. The call's yours, sir.
Perfect. Man, first and foremost, bro, I want to give it back to you, man. You know, just the introduction, bro, just kind of makes me look around, you know, and see who you're talking about. Man, first and foremost, I just want to, you know, give it back to you, say thank you, bro. Man, I'm beyond excited. I'm beyond humbled, just, you know, to serve, right? So guys, just kind of a little bit of background, you know, behind me and Akil's relationship. Just like you said, you know, when I was in the network marketing space, in a particular project that we was working on, I remember, you know, Akil coming by my side and, you know, taking my hand, right, to help. And literally, you know, from that day, you know, been 5 years now, like we literally been locked in. And, you know, I'm just, I honor that, you know, and that really just speaks volume of the leader that we have, the sailor of this ship, you know, and where it is that we're going. So man, again, I just want to give it back to you, big bro. I'm excited for this journey. You know, I'm excited to just kind of really share the sauce, right? Spill the beans, and, you know, give you guys everything that you need to go out and dominate. So I don't want to be long. So guys, I want to jump right into it. A little bit about myself. If this is our first time speaking, talking, you know, I see a lot of familiar faces. What's up? What's up? But if this is our first time talking, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Curtis Harbin. Just like Mr. Bay said, I'm out of Louisville, Kentucky. Married to my beautiful wife, father to our beautiful 2-year-old son that's literally going on 22. And we have one on the way coming in here in a couple months. And so a little bit about my background really quickly. Got started in the network marketing space 9 years ago. And that was when I really had my first experience in business. Right. That was when I really had my very first experience and my struggle of knowing that in order for you to be successful in business, you have to know how to get attention. You know, you have to know how to build a brand that literally attracts people like a magnet so that you can transform their life with your products and services. So I spent 5 years figuring that out, struggling, not making any money, wasting time, wasting energy, trying to figure things out. You know, until one day I decided to really lock in, hone in, and, you know, really understand what it takes to build a brand. How many of you guys would really want to know how to become the authority online? Drop a comment. Let me know. How many of you would love to just know how to become the authority online? Like, and I'm not talking about just the authority. I'm talking about becoming a household name. All right. Me. Perfect. Janice, Rose. Cool. Perfect. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be, you know, talking about today. We're going to be talking about an aspect of that today. But of course, you know, over our journey together, we're going to be diving in way deeper. You know, I'm excited just to have an opportunity, humbled, you know, really to be able to lock in with you guys every single week so that you can literally get everything that you need to become that household name in whatever space that you're in. You know, one thing that Mr. Bay mentioned that I absolutely love is this information just isn't for hidden wealth. Right. Not only are we going to use this information to, you know, build the vision of hidden wealth, but you can take this information and go build your business. Right. Go build the assignment that you've been called to build. Right. And really make that impact. It doesn't matter if you have a T-shirt brand. It doesn't matter if you have a lawn care service, if you're a barber, doctor, lawyer, you know, whatever your profession is, you can apply these things that we're going to be talking about and literally go out and create as much success as you want. So just kind of fast forward to where we are today. You know, 5 years after struggling, guys, I've, you know, been able to figure it out. Just like Mr. Bay said, you know, everything that I teach is not, you know, stuff that you find on YouTube. I actually spent time investing, you know, with some of the top digital experts in the entire world. You know, people that's worked with major brands like MTV, Disney. You know, building the brand of Katy Perry and, you know, Rihanna and multiple different celebrities, right? So being able to really understand the psychology and really what makes stuff go viral, really, you know, how to stand out in a noisy world, rise above the noise. That's what I'm excited to actually teach you guys. And, you know, from myself being able to apply it, you know, at the beginning of January, right? Really deciding to take this information and implement it. Being able to grow a following on TikTok from 418 followers to now over 350,000. And on Instagram from 12,000 followers to now over 80,000. So when I tell you, the things that we're going to be covering on the social media aspect, I have not only been able to create my results myself, not only just building the audience and building the following, but being able to actually monetize, right, that following, right, being able to generate income without having to spend any money on paid ads. That speaks crazy amounts of value by itself. And so I've not only been able to do that myself, but it's really just makes me excited to actually see this stuff working for other people and clients that I've been able to work with. All right. So let me guys or let me know if you're just ready for the vision, like you're just ready for the journey. And you're ready to kind of learn this stuff so we can go ahead and start getting your name out there, getting more exposure. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to share my screen. And what we're going to be talking about today is I kind of want to just break down the 3-step process that you must go through when it comes to building your brand, right? Everything from getting attention all the way down to actually turning followers into cash. All right, turning, followers into new clients and customers, business partners, whatever the case is. And so as we go through this very simple process, I want you to just really learn it, take notes, and really memorize this process, because it doesn't matter what business that you have, what it is that you're doing. This is the same process that works online, and it's the same exact process that you'll use offline as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, great. All right, perfect. So yeah, what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about the sales process. All right. So basically what this is it's the 3-step process that you must go through, no matter what your business is, no matter what brand you're building. But this is the process and the funnel that people must go through if you now want to turn them into a new client or a customer. So here's the thing. Like I said, when I got started in business, I realized that the biggest challenge for people is not building an audience. The biggest challenge for people is not selling products or services. The biggest challenge for people is just obscurity, not getting known, not being able to break the barrier and get seen on the internet. So one thing that I tell people all the time is that there's so much noise online. If you don't understand how to stand out, you're just going to have a great product or a service that nobody knows about. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the overall scope. There's over 7 billion people in the world, right? That's like the general population. And there's about 4.8 billion people on the internet. So one thing that we must understand is that social media is not the same social media as it was back in 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, right? We live in a space today where people are now starting to start businesses every single day. People are, wanting to become influencers. People are wanting to promote different things, wanting to now start to learn how to actually generate income online. So everybody has the urge and the desire to build a following. So when it comes to that, that means that now there's more competition in the news feeds. So what your whole goal and your main objective is to know how to rise above the attention so that your brand and your product can get seen. All right. So when it comes to that, that means like whenever you post, you're in competition with these big companies. You're in competition with Nike. You're in competition with LeBron James. You're in competition with any of your favorite, brand, right? Any celebrity, right? Because we're all posting on the same newsfeed. So as you go through this 3-step process, what we're going to learn, you're not only going to learn how to cut through all the distraction, right? Another thing that you're in competition with is funny cat videos, gossip, right? And all these other crazy things that goes viral on the internet. But I'm going to show you how to cut through the noise so that you can now position yourself as the person that's being seen, and you can start to build an audience that actually falls in love with your mission and your message. All right, so that's the first thing. There's on average 4.8 billion people that's on the internet, right? They're scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, all those different things. So what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about what it looks like to actually not only get the attention that you need, but and now actually start to funnel these people, funnel the attention into actually closing them out as into new clients and customers. All right, so now here's the first thing. Let's talk about building awareness. Hold on one second. Oops. Let me see. Okay, perfect. All right, so oops. All right, perfect. So the very first step when it comes to the overall funnel is you want to get awareness, right? You want to build awareness so that you can be the person that gets seen. So with over 6 billion messages being shared on social media every single day, like I said, your biggest objection is to overcome obscurity, right? Basically, obscurity means is just not being seen. Grant Cardone talks about it all the time. He says you want to get as much attention as you possibly can, because the more attention that you get, like, that's the first step. People just need to know that you even exist. And if people don't know that you exist, it's kind of like having a storefront but nobody walking through your store. All right, so now just to kind of paint the image, every single day there's about 95 million posts being shared every single day on Instagram, 140,000 photos being uploaded on social media platforms, 317,000 status updates, being updated on Facebook every single day, and 1 billion hours of content being watched on YouTube. So if you don't find a way to break through the noise and grab attention, then you will have another great product or service that people doesn't even know exists. All right. So your goal in step number one is your goal is to show up in your audience's newsfeed so they're actually aware that you exist. That's the only step. And see, where most people go wrong is, amateurs will show up online trying to sell a product or a service, right? Rather than showing up online and getting seen in front of the people that they want to get seen by. So that's going to be your very first step. So as you're creating content online, your goal is just solely to get exposure, get more visibility, get more reach, so that you can now have the opportunity and get the permission of these people to now start to take them through the process, build the relationship, which is going to ultimately become a new client or a customer, right? So you're not necessarily looking for the sale again. You're looking for engagement. So this might look like likes, comments, saves, shares, followers, and all those different things. So your goal in this aspect, and goal number one, is you want to build your following. You want to, as you grow your awareness, right, you're going to grow your audience. And you typically want to master the art of creating content that gets saves and shares, because that's what triggers the algorithm to now start to put your content in front of more people. So now, here's a couple of strategies that you can do to start getting awareness, right? And we're going to talk about free strategies. So I really, everything that I do and everything that I teach is really centered around not having to pay for reach, right? Not having to put money into ads or anything like that. So the top methods that you can follow is posting reels, TikToks, carousels. You can even collaborate with other people. So maybe there's other people in your space that does what you do. There's actually a way in which you guys can actually create a post and do a collaboration on it, and you can get in front of each other's audiences. So it's a win-win, right? So now what we're going to be learning, and what I'm going to be teaching you, is how to dominate creating reels, how to leverage TikToks and video content that literally runs around the internet, right? That gets spread across the entire world. And then of course, if you did want to go the paid route, then there's, the way to do it is obviously, using paid ads, doing influencer marketing and stuff like that, which is basically just, paying somebody with the audience that you want to get in front of, and actually paying them to post a piece of content for you, whether that's a story, whether that's a post video, or whatever the case is. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to paid advertising, it does take skill. Facebook's not afraid to take your money. Right. So what I actually recommend is before people move to paid advertising, I would say master the art of creating great content that goes viral by itself first. So now when you put money behind it, you already got a proof of concept. All right. But of course, there's multiple different ways, different ads that you can do. Facebook ads, Instagram ads, right? Whatever the case is. But these are the two ways that you can just overall build your exposure, visibility, and all those things so that you can now start to grow your audience. So now let's talk about step number 2. So step number 2 is now that we actually got attention, we're now going to move them into the process of nurturing and cultivating the relationship. So in this step, you must start to build a relationship with your audience. All right, does that make sense? So this is the phase where they want to know how you can help them solve their problem. Right? That's it. So on a psychological level, they want to know if you're the person that can help them solve their problem. All right. So this is typically when so somebody sees your page for the first time. Now they're starting to scroll through. Before they even hit the follow button, they kind of go on a light binge to see what you're all about. So they just want to know if you're the person worthy enough to hit the follow button. All right, that's it. So this is where number 1 is extremely important to be consistent, because if you don't have content on your page, if you don't have a content library for them to go through and kind of just get a vibe of who you are, then it kind of defeats the purpose, right? That's one thing I tell people is like, just even you just got to show up. So now they're certain enough to follow you, but they're not confident enough to buy from you. They're certain enough to follow you, but they're not confident enough to buy from you, right? Because people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So this is kind of the phase where they're taking a test drive. So what you want to focus on in this phase is you want to focus on educating people, entertaining them, inspiring them, and giving tons of value in your content. And there's multiple different ways that you can do this. All right. So this is the phase also where, so let's just kind of take a car, for example. Before we go buy a car, we don't just go on the lot and say, I'm going to buy this car. People love to take a test drive before they pull out their credit cards. So this is the space where somebody's taking a test drive of you, right? They're kind of getting a vibe and a feel if you're the person that can actually take them to the payoff they're looking for. All right. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So here's a couple different strategies that you can do to start to build the relationship and actually nurture the audience that's now coming in. Because here's the thing. It's simple to build an audience, right? Building an audience is actually the easier part. But maintaining the audience is actually where it gets difficult, right? Maintaining that growth, maintaining the relationship. That's where it gets difficult, right? Because people don't understand how to actually not only get people in, but keep them there. So here's a couple of different things that you can do to start to build a relationship with your audience. So any type of content that's educational, so where you're actually teaching them something, educating them on something that's going to save them time and energy and money, right? Entertaining type of content. So let's just say you can find some sort of way, if you could find some sort of way to take your expertise, what it is that you do, and actually not only teach them, but entertain them at the same exact time. That's another factor that's going to help build a relationship. Inspirational, motivational type of content. People love to be inspired and motivated. Carousels, right? The reason why carousels are so powerful, and if you don't know what carousels are, it's just basically when you get on Instagram and you're swiping through, right? You keep swiping. But carousels are so powerful because not only does it keep people on your page for a longer period of time, but you can actually dive into a certain subject deeper. So one thing I'm gonna show you how to do is how you can literally break down your expertise in bite-sized pieces. So literally, in 5 different posts, you can, a person feels like they got a Harvard degree just from being on your page. Going live on your page, go live, let people see who you are. Let people see your personality. Let people see that you're authentic. Answer questions, right? Do Q&As. Maybe you want to do some sort of tutorial. Maybe you want to, show your audience something that's gonna educate them. So being able to actually show people that you're a real person. So whenever I go live, I call people by their name. Hey, thanks for the comment. Where you from? Where you located? Because again, we live we live in a world today where platforms are so filtered. Everybody has a filter on, so it's kind of, for people, it's kind of hard to know who to trust. So when you're going live, that's the number one way to build a relationship, because again, they're able to see your face, they're able to conversate, and you can just give them value as if you're in the living room. DM conversations, being able to actually talk to people, find out, what they're looking for, find out their pains and their problems, and be able to talk to them like a real person. Testimonial posts. So this is where you post some sort of transformation, and it doesn't have to be a big transformation. People just want to see that people's winning just from being connected to you. Instagram stories, letting people, of course, get a behind the scenes look of your life, what you do on a daily basis, all those different things. Replying back to comments, and then of course free trainings and free communities. So one thing, one thing that I have people do, and what this may look like for you is, having a YouTube channel, right? Having some sort of podcast. So being able to or getting them on your email list or whatever the case is, but having some sort of habitat that you own, right? Where people can literally, you can channel people to continue to learn from you on a whole deeper level and continue to build that relationship, right? So again, step number 2 is, this is the phase where you want to just overall build that relationship. Now you got them there, so now you want to give them things that's going to keep them there. So basically, people want to see demonstration that you can help them before they actually choose you to help them. That's it. Like if you can solve people's problems without them paying you first, then they're going to pay you whatever price you give them. Right? That's why there's no such thing as too expensive. There's no such thing as high prices when the value that you give far exceeds the price that they're paying. So you have to be the person that plants your flag as the go-to guy or as the go-to woman in your space, so that people can't have a conversation without mentioning your name in it. Like, people can't have a conversation. Like, if you do lashes, people can't have a conversation about lashes without mentioning you. If you cut hair, people can't have a conversation about hair without mentioning you, because you give them so much game and give them so much value. Every time they hop on the app, all they see is you. All right. And so we all heard the phrase out of sight, out of mind. And so if you're not online showing up, giving value, then you're going to be out of mind. So now, number 3, here's the third phase. So now this is going to be the closing phase, all right? Or shall I say the monetization phase. So now in this step, this is where you can now begin to move your audience into buyers by actually solving their pains and their problems. So this is the point where there's been enough trust and rapport built for your follower to actually feel comfortable enough to make a purchase. So they've spent hours going through your content. They've spent hours listening to your podcast, hearing your story, watching your YouTube videos. And, it feels like that they know you. How many times have you listened to an artist, or you listen to Drake, you listen to your favorite, whoever your favorite artist is, right? And after, listening to them for a long time, you can literally recite the lyrics, right? And so you feel like you know him at that point. So now if Drake comes to your city and does a concert, you buying the tickets. And so this is the same exact thing in your business. When, in this particular phase, you got them to trust you enough and feel comfortable enough to actually give you money in exchange for the value that you're going to give them to get them to the transformation that they've been praying for. All right, so now here's how you do it. So you want to have some sort of system and some sort of strategy set in place to where you actually can point them in the direction that you want them to go. So this can look like a DM conversation where you actually, invite people to send you a DM for more information, or send you a DM to get access to the training, or whatever the case is. And I'll kind of show you a couple of examples of what that might look like. So if your particular business has or if this can be implemented to that specific business, then typically what that looks like is having some sort of simple script that you can go through, which again gives them a clear direction of the next steps to take in order to start working with you. This could look like a phone call, right? Getting people on the phone. Ultimately, the goal is to get people off social media. And this is the biggest thing that I want you to understand. The goal is to get people off of social media. Because like we don't own social media. You know, Instagram's cool, Facebook's cool, TikTok is cool, but at the end of the day, it could close tomorrow. You know, there's a talk about a TikTok ban right now as we speak. So, you know, it's cool to have a lot of followers, but at the end of the day, followers don't pay bills. So your goal is to actually build real relationships with these people. So you have to get them offline and get them into a community that you own. So, you know, a phone call could be another way that works, right? Getting them to your website. Maybe you know, have a physical product that you're selling. So what is the clear process look like for them to take the next step in order to make a purchase? Filling out some sort of application or a form, you know, to work with you. A Zoom call, right? Just like the one that we're on. Maybe that's the best process for your business, or you know, even booking a in-person meeting. So another thing, right? When it comes to the third step is getting them to your email list, right? Your text message list. So that way, you know, in all these options, you have the power to continue to build a real relationship with your audience. So people don't buy, you know, from step number one, right? And I kind of want to, I'm gonna go back really quickly because this is what most people do. This is where people fail. See, thing is, people fail when they start to they try to flip the funnel upside down. You know, I've seen people come online, let's just say selling t-shirts, and they say, listen, you know, I just launched my t-shirt business, t-shirts on pre-order now, grab a t-shirt. But here's the problem. Nobody's ever heard of your t-shirt before. All right. No, nobody's ever heard of your lotion. Right. And so, you know, then people try to build a relationship second, you know, after somebody make a purchase. And then they try to go to the first step, which is building awareness. Right. And it just doesn't work like that. You know, us as just human beings, you know, we have to become exposed first. Like we have to trust you. You know, what is your t-shirt brand about? You know, what is the meaning behind it? What does it represent? How is it going to make me feel wearing the shirt? How is this going to give me more status? How is this going to give me a better social image wearing the t-shirt, right? This lotion, like, well, like, you know, what are the benefits of the lotion? Like don't sell me on why I should buy it. Like educate me on why I need it. So that's the nurturing phase, right? And then you want to go to the close. You know, like, okay, you educated me so much. Now I sold myself. Like, what's the next best step for me to give you money in exchange for the product? So, and again, where most people go wrong is they try to flip the funnel upside down and just trying to come online and sell people. And see, people, you know, like you're trying to sell online when people are online to be inspired, educated, and entertained. All right. So I want to kind of give you a couple of examples of what this looked like. So kind of with what I do, my strategy is more so I love to get people in the DMs, and then I love to get them on to fill out an application so we can hop on an actual call, right, and figure out what the next best step is. So, and again, you know, these are all just a couple different strategies that you can implement, but of course, you know, you want to apply the best strategy that's going to be the best fit for your particular business. So, over on the left hand side, you know, I think I made a post or something like that. You know, obviously having a simple script to just have a conversation with people, you know, find out what their pains, problems is. So just asking a couple of different questions. And, you know, basically this guy just simply just asked for a call, right? And so I was able to hop on the call and get that set up. The next one, this is an example where you can leverage your stories to actually, you know, give people a clear next step. So one thing that I always tell people to do is use your stories to actually sell, right? Use your stories to get, you know, to promote. Because again, that's where your warmest audience is. So again, having people to DM me, you know, something, right? So I can again start that conversation and take them through the next best step of what to do next. Again, the next one's another, Instagram story, just kind of sharing some results. And I say, hey, if you want to have access to my community, just DM me household name, right? And to get access to the Facebook group. And so that's something that you can do as well. Having some sort of community where you just give people free value, you give them free information. And so when it is time for you to actually promote something, you have hundreds of people, ready to take action just because you've given them so much information. And then of course these other ones, just a couple more examples, just having a conversation, asking questions, being genuinely interested in where they want to go, and giving them the next option to get that problem solved. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Let's see. All right, perfect. So let me know if that was helpful. Let me know if you got any type of value from that part. All right. So again, this is the process that you want to just like master, always have in the back of your mind, no matter what it is that you're promoting, no matter what it is that you're doing. Because again, like social media is a phenomenal tool, but at the same time, it can be a gift and it can be a curse. Most people think that you can just hop online and just sell stuff and people's gonna buy it, right? Maybe you started a business and you make your first post in 30 days, you're upset because nobody bought it. Well, no, it's a process. It takes time. Just kind of like, just meeting a spouse, right? It takes time to build that relationship. Step number one, you might have seen your spouse, right? You was attracted, interested, right? That's the first step. You introduce them, said your name and all those different things. Now they know you exist. Step number two, right? What's the next step? You maybe ask for a date. Maybe it's a phone call. Maybe, they start to kind of check you out on social media, whatever the case is, but you all spend time building a relationship. And then the third step is maybe you ask them out. Maybe you just ask like, hey, I would really love to be together, right? That's the third step, going for the close. And it works the same exact way, no matter what it is that you're doing. So today, guys, I just really wanted to kind of break down that 3-step game plan. Again, it's really when I put that in place and when I really understood that, it allowed me to, show up credible. You know what I'm saying? It allows you to show up with the right intentions, because everybody else, again, follows the different path, which is 1,000% incorrect. So with that being said, man, I'm excited. This is literally just, the beginning, the scratch of the surface of what we're going to be, talking about together, so, and really the first step of helping you become the next household name. So, my vision is to help 1 million entrepreneurs literally be the go-to person in their industry. Become that household name in whatever it is that you do, right? Whatever your message is, whatever your product, your service, vision, helping you get that out into the world. You have something that the world needs to see. Whether it is a t-shirt brand, whether you cut hair, whether you do sell shoes, right? You got something that the world needs to hear. So I'm just excited to be that guide, be that help to get you to that point. So again, I want to give it back to my brother, my mentor, man, everything, my Mr. CULTIVATE. This is the guy that, helped me start, like literally where I got to today. This is the gentleman behind all of that. So man, we gonna make major things happen. But with that being said, guys, I'm excited. Let's continue to grow, and I'm going to give it back to you, Mr. CULTIVATE. Oh, I think you muted.
Oh, let's go. I'm good now. Okay, I see my mic moving up and down. Man, let's give it back some fire for Mr. Curtis Lee Harbin. I see the fires. Yes. Did y'all see value? Did y'all get any value? Did y'all get value? I'm hoping that y'all got that value. I hope y'all wrote down those steps. Now, of course, it was the basic steps, but understand, who would like to get that value in depth and detail every single week? Put some ones in the chat if you would like the in-depth details. I need to know exactly what to do. I need to know exactly what to say. This is my particular business. So what do I say in my particular business? What type of post do I need to post for my particular business? What do I need to do? Put some ones in the chat if that's you. If that's you, right? Put some ones in the chat if that's you. Okay, we got quite a few ones. We got quite a few ones. Okay, good to go. Well, ladies and gents, he's going to be on the platform every single week, not just with a course that you're going to have access to watch on your time, on demand course, breaking every single thing down, but he's going to be coming on live, streaming live every single week. I'm going to tell you all something. His course alone, how much do you charge, Mr. Harbin? If a person want to come directly to you for your course, how much do you charge? Let everybody know.
Oh man, great question. So people pay me $3,000 and people have happily paid me $3,000. Happily
paid. Happy. And that's a discount. But ladies and gents, if you're a part of the society, guess what? You get it at a discounted rate. Put some fire in the chat for that. Put some fire in the chat for that. Please. Look, do you see the value? And that's just one aspect of everything we're having. One aspect for everything. Just imagine like this. This is benefit for you. This is benefit for your personal business. And ultimately, once we get to a certain amount of numbers and we make that vote and people say yay or nay, they want to have a networking portion. We can't even say, we don't even call it a networking. I'm going to tell y'all what we're going to call it if y'all do. Who would like to know? We're not going to call it. We're making new terms for what we're doing. We're on another level. Who would like to know what we're not going to call it network marketing? Because it's really not. It is, but it's not. We're going to call it revenue sharing society. So if you all choose to say, hey, we want the revenue sharing society, we want that. Well, guess what? Guess what? If you've been in and you've been getting training all the way up to that point, you already know what to do. Actually, you have been doing it because you've been doing what Curtis said to be seen. You've been building relationships. Now you have something, the society, to offer as well on top of all of the other revenue you're generating from your own business. Come on, y'all. We are strategic in what we do. Are y'all with me? Let me take off these glasses. We are strategic. I want y'all to see my eyes. We are strategic in what we do. It's game over. It's game over, y'all. Having the type of knowledge and access to the knowledge that you just received, but more in depth every single week and on demand, in detail, broken down, and access to X questions based upon the information that you may not understand and the answers you need. And you have an expert that's proven, that got results, that's actually doing it every single day. Ladies and gents, I don't know what else to tell you. One of many of the educators of our platform. So once again, if you haven't checked, hiddenwealthsociety.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You're going to see this. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. And then you're going to see this right here. You just click right there and you fill in your information. Look, it's a real simple step, 4 steps, boom, boom, boom. And then the next step, boom, boom, boom. For those of you all that got started, how simple is the process to sign up? Is it hard? Is it confusing? Is it hard? Is it confusing? Or is it nice, simple, smooth? Is it smooth? Is it nice and smooth? Nice and quick, easy. It's not confusing. Exactly. Everything is put together for you all. So whenever you choose to, you can, right? But we're just going to bang everybody in the head with the value we bringing, because we know we bringing way more value for the buck. Way more value. Who agree? Put value in the chat if you agree. Let me look up. Put value in the chat if you agree. Put value. I need to see value. Value. Okay, good to go. Good to go. All right. I got one request from everyone. If you can go on social media right now, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if you can go on there right now and just give Curtis Lee Harbin a shout out and hashtag Hidden Wealth Society. Say, give Curtis Lee Harbin a shout out. It could be any social media site. Just give him a shout out, right? Because he did this, you know, to promote, help, promote, right? If you can give him a shout out. Hidden Wealth, say, shout out to Curtis Lee Harbin, Hidden Wealth, hashtag Hidden Wealth Society. It's almost time. Whatever you want to say, right? But make sure you put shout out to Curtis Lee Harbin and hashtag Hidden Wealth Society. If you all can do that for me, it'll be well appreciated, right? And we're gonna rock and roll, y'all. Up to this point, this is Friday. Do we have any questions? Curtis Lee Harbin, Mr. Harbin, are you able to take maybe 2 or 3 questions?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, if you have any questions for Mr. Harbin, please raise your hand and we'll get you unmuted so that you will be able to get your question and answers. Do we have any questions? Just raise your hand. Sister Styles, our executive administrator. You got it, sister.
First off, I want to say, Curtis, thank you for the information. Thank you so much, because I'm definitely interested in growing my own brand, of course. So I got a quick question for you, because a lot of times people think that it's like an overnight thing. So I want to ask you, from when you first started, you know, how long did it take you to pretty much 100x your whole following? Like, what was that time frame looking like, and what type of content you found that actually worked best to help you kind of like get more exposure?
Oh yeah, that's a phenomenal question. So overall 9 years. 9 years of figuring things out. However, as far as the growth, it took about 7 days. So when I started, and kind of before I answer that question, I just kind of want to talk about, just, you said a powerful word, is process. It's a process, guys. So, you know, social media, I mean, it's one of those things where it does take time to figure out, but once you do, it'll pay you more than you could ever even dream of. I mean, we're talking about getting in front of millions of people without spending a dime for it. And the Super Bowl charges $7 million to get in front of 100 million people. And so it's just the process. And so, yeah, it took 9 years to figure things out, but grew a following of 22,000 people in just 7 days. Went over 100,000 in just 38 days, and then over 350,000 in just less than 90 days. So when the growth happened, it happened. I mean, faster than I can keep up with, to the scale of getting in front of, you know, celebrities. And so, I mean, once you do learn it, and, you know, you learn the right packaging for your brand, it grows at a speed that you can't keep up with. So yeah, if that answers your question.
Yes, and one more question. What type of content you notice? I know everybody's different, every brand is different. What type of content worked best for you?
Yeah, so for me, I took a different angle at it. So, and this is one thing that I teach people as well. So the old way of social media is, they say you want to only post content specifically for the audience you want to get in front of. So if I'm in real estate, I'm only going to post content that's, you know, directed to giving value to real estate agents. But that's not the way it works today. Like, in today's world, you want to be able to post content that's going to reach a broad amount of people, like the broadest audience as possible, but still relevant to the space that you're in. So, for instance, so my audience is entrepreneurs, people that is interested in learning how to take their expertise online, get more exposure, all those different things. But I knew that inspiration and motivation is the #1 communication style for any entrepreneur, and people in general. Like, everybody loves to be inspired and motivated. So what I began to do was I began to create content that's just inspirational, motivational. And so what happened was, although I'm aimed at, you know, targeting entrepreneurs, I'm also hitting the wide population, which what's going to happen with that is, not only entrepreneurs are going to share my content and hit me up, but I'm also going to have people hit me up that has no business whatsoever, no interest in entrepreneurship, but just because they share my video, they got family and friends that's entrepreneurs. So now I'm getting exposed to their audiences, which is now, of course, building my brand, right? Building my business. So the best type of content that you want to post is, number one, you want to figure out, like, number one, how can what kind of content that can I create that's still specific enough for my target audience, but still broad enough to catch the interest of a wide range of people. So that's going to be the first thing. And there's three main buckets that you want to focus on to do it. So inspiration and motivation. So that's basically content that's feeling based. So anything inspirational, motivational, education, right, and entertainment. So those right there are the top three communication styles that people gravitate towards. And as we go deeper into the course and, you know, our trainings and stuff like that, I'll dive deeper into the psychology behind that. But as long as you hit those three buckets, then you can now position yourself to get in front of the widest range of people as possible. So anything that fits in that bucket, to answer your question, Keish, but anything that's in those buckets, inspire people, entertain people, and educate people. But when you're doing that, yeah, we want to figure out a way to get in front of the widest group of people as possible, and not just specifically create content specifically for the people that you want to get in front of. So another kind of quick example about that is let's just take real estate, for example. So, you know, you see real estate agents like on Instagram, stuff like that. Hey, you know, book a tour. You know, this home has 5 bedrooms, got a backyard and all those different things. Like, problem is they're all speaking the same language. They're only speaking to people that's interested in buying a home. But there's one specific real estate agent that literally, you know, it goes viral every single time, but he doesn't talk about how many bedrooms and the features and benefits of homes. He just shows mansion tours. And so, although it's still specific enough for people that's interested in buying homes, it's still interesting enough to catch the interest of a wide group of people. So, because everybody will love to see what a mansion look like. So what happens is everybody shares his content all across the world. He's getting in front of millions of people. And then it literally only takes him one real estate deal to make millions of dollars. So that's just, you know, again, more free exposure. So that's one thing that, you know, I'm going to be helping you like really lock in on. But to kind of answer your question again, the three types of content you want to focus on is just inspiration content, educational content, and entertaining content.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow. So let me ask you this, Curtis, and I just want people to be clear on this, because it took you 7 years, right, to even get into this position. But I truly believe, and let me know if you agree, if it took you 7 years to go through the process to figure out everything and to find the thing, missing pieces, and you have gotten it and proven it to be true, can we agree, and do you agree, that is to be quicker for somebody else, because now they don't have to go through those 7 years of trying to find everything? Now you got everything laid out for them to follow. They don't have to go try to figure out. They don't even have to pay all that money to figure out what you have figured out. You've laid it out. Book.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And so, yeah, one thing I tell people is there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either, they say it takes 10,000 hours to master a craft. And that's true, right? So you can either spend the 10,000 hours to do it, or you can borrow somebody else's by paying for it. And so, you know, the cost of getting in front of, let's just say, you know, 100,000 people, millions of people, the Super Bowl charges millions of dollars for that. So not only the 9 years that it took in the 10,000 hours that, you know, that was put in, but what is the value and what is it worth to you to, you know, to shortcut all that time, you know, and to get yourself in front of all those people. So instead of paying $7 million, you know, we only asking you to pay 150. It's almost robbery.
Man, it's crazy. Chef J, she got a question. Let's get Chef J straight. All right, Chef J, you got it, sister.
Hey everybody, hey family, hey Kill, hey Curtis. Curtis, first of all, thank you for the gems. You know, I've been tapped in on the social media tip for you a while. When it comes to I wanted to ask, when it comes to your content, do you batch create your content or do you just go with the flow whenever it comes to mind, or do you like schedule it out?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. What's up, Jay? First and foremost.
Hey.
Yeah, no, so I'm actually against batch creation. Reason being is because people batch create content without no proven data of why it's even going to work in the first place. So now you're creating 10 posts that's not even going to perform well. So what I do is I take you through a process of actually creating one piece of content and testing it out. And so once you do figure out what works for you, then you can batch create that, because now you're batch creating based off of data and research variables that's proving to work. So once you figure out what that is, now you can start to create more of it, because again, we collected the data from it. So it's kind of like scientists, it's kind of like the medical industry, when as they're testing medicine and stuff like that, they're not going to duplicate what don't work. They're not going to duplicate what gives people bad side effects or whatever the case is. They're only going to batch create what's actually curing diseases. So that's the same exact way we got to treat social media in your content.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. If y'all haven't realized already, this is gem after gem that he's dropping. Listen, I got results already just from tapping in and just being close to the campfire. I can't wait for the platform and all your classes. I'm hyped, and I'm just, you helped me get monetized already. So I'm just excited to see what's coming next. I appreciate you and I love you, man. Thanks.
Oh yeah, hey, love you too. Let's keep working.
Let's go. Hey, that's absolutely amazing. You said something, Curtis, that I can definitely agree with. They do it in the music industry as well. That's why you will see an artist, your particular artist, right? They'll get that one hit, and notice after they get that one hit that really bang, they'll do a remix of that hit with a whole bunch of other artists. Then the next song that come out like it, it'll be just the same tempo, maybe a different type of song, but the same tempo of that last hit. Then overall in the industry, it's a particular tempo that all hits are made from. You can put a one song, you can start off with Michael Jackson Beat It. Michael Jackson Beat It has a tempo of a song, many songs prior to that and many songs after that has that same exact tempo. It's a particular tempo, right? So it's duplicable, right? When it comes to, proven success in certain areas with certain things. And I believe what you say to be true, that once you find that one post that really hit, you stick to that formula. And I think the black and white talking, looking back at the camera, talking, looking at it works.
Yeah.
It works. I got to get back on mine because mine was working. I just haven't been consistent at doing it. Jumping, coming out the screen. Hey, 1 minute. Let me tell y'all something. That work. That type of stuff works, right? But you could be you talking about whatever you talk to. So I agree with you, bro. And I didn't learn something. I didn't learn a lot from you. And man, I'm just excited overall on what you're bringing. Do we have any other questions? Please raise your hand. We'll take one more question if you raise your hand. Man, we finna rock and roll, bro. We finna rock and roll. You say 7 million. I just put that on the goal. Put this in the budget, Danielle, for one of our future budget goals, Danielle. We need hidden wealth society. We need a commercial in the Super Bowl. Put that on our goal. We're gonna get a commercial on the Super Bowl. How that sound to you, Sister Dunn? We need a commercial on the Super Bowl. Yeah, during the Super Bowl. We need that. And an all-star game. I wish, man, this weekend was the Masters. It's the Masters, the Golf Masters. We need one on the Golf Masters, right? Because it's a different audience, right, Curtis? A different audience, watch different things. Yep. and they have different commercials, right? Okay, we don't have any other questions. We got Curtis, we got one more. We got time for one more question. Do we have any business owners here that own their own business? Right? I see Mark Goldfinger Fair. You own your business. I know, let's see. Sister Tate, y'all own y'all business. Y'all own y'all business, right? Look, my wife on here. You own your business. You don't got no questions. Don't ask me no questions later on after this. I'm gonna say, hey, you should ask your questions when Curtis was on. All right, go ahead, Mark.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Like I'm in the lab right now as we speak. As we speak, getting to it. So I guess my biggest question is, so as it pertains to, you know, like the educational value and different things like that, I guess like what would be the best way to create something in that space with the capability to make it a viral video? Would you say like it needs to be short and sweet, or, you know, like what kind of information do you find that people are really looking for that's gonna draw them in to the point where they are now a follower and they want to continue to watch you and eventually purchase whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just depends on what platform you're using and what your style is. So, you know, if you doing long form videos, then, you know, people go viral on YouTube every single day. However, if you want to do short videos, you can do that as well on Instagram and TikTok. Also, it just depends on what your strengths is, your strengths and weaknesses. Some people has the strength of talking for a long period of time, or maybe you want to break down a subject for a long period of time. Well, YouTube might be the best route. However, maybe you're just good at just kind of taking a big subject and piecing it into little bitty videos, short videos. And you're not, you know, scared to get on camera. Then YouTube, you know, or not YouTube, TikTok, Instagram is going to be perfect for that. Maybe you're a writer, you know, you can just write out what's in your head and you can put it on paper. Instagram is great for that because it's, you know, you can do it in your captions, you can do it on carousels. So that's going to be the first thing. It just depends on like what platform you want to use. And so the second thing is just everything's going to be based off research. So I'm going to be showing you how to do the research, like how to research not only content that's relevant to your space and your industry, but like we're going to be looking at content that's just successful in other industries in general. Like we might be talking about, you know, you're a barber, but we might be looking at a successful cookie company. We might be looking at videos, right? Because they successful. We might be looking at, you know, a successful personal trainer, because although it's not about the content, it's about the context that the content's created in. So it's certain variables in that content, certain factors that actually makes stuff go viral. And all this stuff is public right now. It's just that people don't know what to look for. And so what we do is we take out the variables that's working, that's making stuff go viral, and now we can implement that into your specific business. So now, you know, we got you creating stuff that people's never seen before. So, you know, Akil just mentioned the black and white. After studying and doing research, after studying a lot of different things, I just knew that it was something psychological about black and white that makes something hit on an emotional level. The sound behind it, the quality, there's a lot of different like factors that go into it, but we just pull out those variables that make something successful, and then we just apply it to your brand, and then package up your brand, your message, you know, in that content. And so now when you post, it actually is predicted like to go viral at a higher rate than just kind of posting what we think works.
Gotcha. Okay, that's definitely some great nuggets, and I'll definitely I can't wait on your course. Can't wait, because
educated. The head for ex-educator is looking forward to the social media marketing educator. So that's a beautiful thing. You know, man, we appreciate your time. Let me go ahead and stop. Hey, y'all, if y'all watching the recording, go ahead and get started ASAP.